So doing another PlayStation 5 board repair. And essentially this was actually attempted fail repaired by someone else. And pretty much what happened was they went ahead and were trying to fix an overheating issue. You can kind of see it's been overheating for a while because you see that nice oxidation and hot spot on the core. So even cleaning the dust out wouldn't have fixed this one. And even then, he didn't really do a good job cleaning dust out. There's still a lot of it in there. I'll have to remove this heatsink power supply and all that and clean it out really good. But either way it goes, as he removed the top part of the case, he forgot to unplug the fan. And of course, ripped the whole entire fan connector off the board with the traces. One was destroyed actually really badly to the point there was no trace left. The only thing that was left was the wire. So what I had to do, of course, was remove as much of the masking around that fire and then shove a magnet wire in there and then solder it directly to that wire to fix one of the tracks. The other two, thankfully there was enough left on there where I was able to solder to the remaining tracks that were still on there. And as far as the ground plane on both sides for the hold down, what I did was, because it only broke right at that edge right there, thankfully, I was able to grind away on all 3 points, go ahead and use a lead from a resistor, and go pretty much across that, therefore making a strong connection where this isn't going to rip out that easy and stuff, because now it's soldered on all 3 points directly to that hold down. And after I did that, of course, you go to your meter, make sure you ohm everything out, that you don't got no shorts on the outer pin and that it ohms out in the kilo and mega ohm range when you ohm that out on the outer pin, because one's 12 volt, middle's ground, and then the other one's signal. So you want to make sure you're not grounding anything out, of course. And then after I checked everything, and then I went ahead and put the board in just for quick testing, it worked. Then I went ahead and then applied the solder mask around there and stuff, which this here you got to cure through UV, and you use a UV lamp there for about 5 minutes or so and stuff like that. And I layered it on there, of course, to make sure that it's nice and solid. This ain't going nowhere. I mean, it's soldered on all 3 sides of the ground plane on each side. Sometimes what I'll do with these, if it's really bad and it's ripped out further out on each side, is I'll go ahead and try to tilt the connector at an angle, and then I'll solder directly to whatever side's good on each side, and I'll just run the magnet wire in a way where it goes at an angle, and I'll make sure I'll put some solder mask under there so it don't short out to the ground plane and stuff, of course. But either way it goes, there's different ways to repair this fan connector, so that's repaired. And the next thing I'm working on right now, you can see right here, is this USB connector, which I already removed, cleaned out all around it. So I'm going to go and apply new solder to it, of course. And then we're going to go and drop this new to me, but it's actually used from another board, USB connector back on there, as his old one was completely destroyed, as you can see. So we're going to put the new one on there. Then we'll go ahead and, of course, clean up this liquid metal, clean out any oxidation and stuff, and then reapply it and get this thing back together, get the heat sink and everything out, of course, on this thing, clean out the remaining dust, and hopefully she should work. So I went ahead and finished replacing the USB port. Also went ahead and took care of his overheating issue that he was apparently having, and pretty much cleaned off the oxidation off the old liquid metal and reapplied the liquid metal. So that's all done, and this board pretty much, after I get done the thermal putty and all that other stuff, we'll go back into the chassis and we'll test to see if this thing actually works. So dude got this thing kind of somewhat together, just enough for testing, to test to see that this fan is working. Yeah, I'll go and clean it up after everything's working and so forth, but let's go ahead and turn it on. So we'll hit the power button right here. And yep, as you can see, we got fan spinach, and we should have a picture soon. And yes, we have a picture. So the PS5 is definitely working again. You see it's white light too, no longer just turning off. But I'll go ahead and get this thing all the way back there. I do gotta wait for that repairing console before I can turn it off though, but let's see if it comes back on and gets out of safe mode. There you go. It is booting, and yep, it does appear to be booting, so this is a success. And there you go. So this console is fixed. I'll go and check the USB ports, make sure it's not overheating and everything, but yep, this PS5 is repaired. So went ahead and fully reassembled this PS5 and cleaned it out. And you could see there, that was one of the other things he did. He went ahead and put some RGB strips around each of the fan grills. So you can see there's one there, and it plugs into this USB thing, which I had to glue back together because it was in pieces. But yeah, PS4 is fully functional, and there you go. You can see it's on the login screen, but there you go.